The death of Charlie Kirk has caused quite the uproar. If you didn't know who Charlie Kirk was...
You're comparing abortion to the Holocaust.
Absolutely I am. In fact, it's worse.
I believe that transgenderism is a mental disorder.
When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Why is that?
My next claim is that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate.
Worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
He was an alt-right activist. If you're living in today's sphere, you know, the constant talking points of this type of right-wing person, you probably know it well because our President Trump, the president of this great nation, is the ultimate president of right-wing advocacy, and you probably know all the talking points, so I don't need to bore you with right-wing and conservatism in our America right now. Charlie Kirk was killed September 10th by a sniper rifle with the words engraved, "Ooh, looks at bulge." The killer is suspected Tyler Robinson, 22-year-old college student, and the most interesting point of Tyler Robinson is that he is a white man. Seemingly from his bullet engravings saying, if you're looking at this, you're gay, LMAO, ciao Bella, ciao Bella, ciao Bella, ciao Bella, and like I said, the bullet that killed Kirk, ooh, I'm not saying it again. From all these things, we can see that Robinson had a penchant for either Reddit or Discord, likely both. We have a face, we have certain characteristics of this killer. We don't have everything, but that is the picture that we have right now. Now, before the alleged killer was alleged, the right wing was playing the blame game.
Democrats own what happened today. I am devastated. My kids have called panicking. They probably, all the kids of every conservative in the country called panicking.
By that logic, do Republicans own the shooting of the two Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota? Isn't this on both sides?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm asking.
We don't know what condition Charlie Kirk is in right now. Some raging leftist lunatic put a bullet through his neck, and you want to talk about Republicans right now? No.
No, I'm asking
not
you.
At all.
You said the Democrats own it too.
The Democrats own this.
But is there a problem with political violence across the spectrum?
Yeah, we're talking about Charlie Kirk right now. That's the subject of this that we're talking about right now.
And now with this, now that we know it was Robinson, everybody's kind of suspecting what side is this guy on. One of the bullets say, hey, catch this fascist. And the other part of it is that his family is an ultra-conservative, Trump-loving, gun-loving family, so maybe he is actually a Republican. But maybe he's even more conservative than Charlie Kirk. Maybe he's what the internet likes to call a groyper. Now you might be asking, what the fuck is a groyper? I've never heard of a groyper. I didn't know what a fucking groyper was. I was a virgin in high school, but I guess not enough. What the fuck is a groyper? This brings in our guy, Nick Fuentes. If you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, thank God.
Sorry, pea-brain woman. Maybe that's why you should focus more on 2 slices of bread, peanut butter, and jelly.
How could you say it's not desirable that we have different people living here together in harmony? Like, why do you want that? Why is
me having sex with my dog is the same thing as me having sex with a black man?
No. But they would both be degenerate.
Do we want to be too racist and safe, or not racist enough and not have a society? It's that simple. So people are going to have to get a little bit more comfortable with talking about this in racial terms, because that's why we can't solve it. And you want to know how we know that? Because if it was a white person stabbing a black girl, they would be lynching this guy. That's how you know. Because if it was a white person, a white football Chad, stabbing an 18-year-old black kid in a hoodie with his Arizona iced tea and Skittles, they would fucking lynch him.
Thank God. I'm sorry, I can try to not hold any bias, but Nick Fuentes is a piece of shit. And this is Nick Fuentes' little group, the groypers. The ideal, the image of them is created off this frog called groyper, and basically, as Wikipedia defines it, sometimes called the Groyper Army, are a group of alt-right white nationalists and Christian nationalists, activists led by Nick Fuentes. So this kind of tells us that Fuentes and Kirk, seemingly from the description, are the same type of people. Fuentes, like Kirk, is a right-wing conservative have all the same traits: sexism, racism, xenophobia, transphobia, a plethora of things. Groypers and Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk differ in the fact of this little word that I like to call ultra. Nick Fuentes is an ultra right-wing guy, whereas Charlie Kirk is just a right-wing guy. Now, what's the difference? So unlike mainstream conservatism, the conservatism that Fuentes and the Groypers operate on is this conservatism where they don't give a fuck about logistics. They don't give a fuck about being considered racist. They are openly racist. The Fuentes group, the Groypers, they think of white as the best. They openly say it. White is right. White is good. These blacks, these minorities, they are the others. They are not as good. They are much shittier. We are better. We need to go in and go to the white agenda and continue on with the white agenda. The white agenda. We need to do everything for the white agenda, to carry the white agenda, and to make sure that we stay ahead in this country and in this culture. That is what Fuentes is. Fuentes is a KKK member, essentially. He does not care. His group is also alternatively called the Knickers. Yes, the Knickers. This guy does not give a fuck. He is racist. He thought Kirk was a pussy in layman's terms. He thought Kirk was a fucking pussy. Kirk started this thing called Culture Wars, where he toured around, colleges and different platforms in America to speak about the culture war in America. Fuentes took this tour as a way to ambush Kirk and to ask him questions about how much of a pussy he is. Whereas Kirk tried to include black people, gay people, black Republicans, gay Republicans, Fuentes called this bullshit and stupid because that's not right. White people are right. I'm not exaggerating on this. This is his ideas. I'm just telling you what the guy thinks. I 100% believe in my heart of hearts, if you asked Fuentes this, he would be like, yes, the black fucker is right. So Fuentes got his group, the Groypers, and himself to kind of, like I said, ambush Charlie. So he would stage these people, they would stage themselves at these Kirk rallies and ask them faux questions. They would ask questions like, can you prove that our white European ideals will be maintained if the country is no longer made up of white European descent? Another question they asked to co-host, like I said, Rob Smith, a black gay Iraq war veteran, they asked him, how does anal sex help us win the culture war? It's very odd to me that Fuentes made Kirk look left-leaning. Fuentes wanted not only Kirk to have these beliefs, but also Donald Trump to have these beliefs. He thought that Donald Trump was not right enough. These people were not right enough for Fuentes. This led to Fuentes being condemned by multiple big right-wing figures. Now, Fuentes believes the news is trying to frame him for Kirk's death, something that he profusely denies. Okay, so why would they be trying to frame him? If you didn't get it, I'll connect it closely together. So they believe that Robinson could have been a Groyper and was looking to attack Kirk for not being right enough. Because Fuentes' group is not a happy group. They are not a peacefully protesting group. They are a group that wants some fucking action. They are a group that would kind of be placed at the scene of an assassination for somebody that is left-leaning. I don't know if Tyler Robinson was a Nick Fuentes Groyper or a left-wing communist. I don't. But I do know that America has just gotten way too fucking intense over politics and the over-analysis of the social scheme. Ideas from people like Kirk, Owens, Trump, though they are more tame than Fuentes' beliefs, they are built on the same fucking ideology. Through and through, the right-wing rhetoric is built on racism, sexism, fucking prejudice. It's just prejudice. The list goes on, but at its very bones, it's prejudice. And I love to cite the ideas for this Republican Party. I will go back to the
start out in 1954 by saying nigger, nigger, nigger. By 1968, you can't say nigger. That hurts you, backfires. So you say stuff like forced busing, states' rights, and all that stuff. And you're getting so abstract now. You're talking about cutting taxes, and all of these things you're talking about are totally economic things. And the byproduct of them is blacks get hurt worse than whites. And subconsciously, maybe that is part of it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if it is getting that abstract and that coded, that we're doing away with the racial problem one way or the other. You follow me? Because obviously sitting around saying we want to cut taxes, we want to cut this, and we want is much more abstract than even the busing thing, and a hell of a lot more abstract than nigger, you know. So any way you look at it, race is coming on the back burner.
I look at it as the connection to republicanism and racism and all the other prejudice aligned with it, and how republicanism is just a way to keep minorities down, and it's used very systemically. And the denial of that is a lack of education and a lack of knowing, something that America has had a problem with this election and with a lot of elections. We are taking out education, and it is the reason that we got into this mess. A lot of people, I truly believe that a lot of people do not know. A lot of these right-wing people think they are carrying out God's ideas. They think they are saving a nation. They think their ideas are righteous. These people, a lot of people are fucking evil, but they think they are doing the right thing, and that is simply a lack of education. And what do you do when you have a lack of education? When you have a lack of education, you don't know who to blame, what to blame. What is causing this discrepancy in your life? What is making your sons not able to get jobs? What is making you, a young person, not able to get jobs? Why can't you buy houses? Why is everything so fucking ridiculously priced right now? Why? You ask this question, and you know what the fucking conservatives, and you know what Nick Fuentes is saying, and you know what Kirk was saying, it's because the fucking Mexicans are taking your jobs. It's because there's fucking too many blacks. And like Fuentes, it's because they're fucking, the blacks are taking the fucking jobs, and Kirk, they need to be in prison, and this whole thing. So they're the thing to blame. They're the thing to put anger on. They're the thing, oh, these fucking people. But that's not correct. The reason, as I will always say, that America's government sucks right now is because of America. That is it. The government structures, the not caring about people, the allowing private companies to price gouge, the untaxing of the rich. That is why your life sucks. That is why everything is so expensive. These companies are fucking price gouging you. They are taking your goddamn money, and nobody's none the wiser because it's the fucking transgenders happen, the transgender bathrooms. In the transgender bathrooms in schools. That's why you're fucking poor. That's why you have to be on fucking food stamps. Because transgender operations are going on in bathrooms and Mexicans are taking your jobs. To me, it doesn't matter why the shooter shot Kirk, because he is what he is, shot. I will not share a line of sympathy as I've seen from a certain side of the internet, and as I've seen from my many Instagram followers liking that stupid fucking Charlie Kirk post. That would be bullshit on my end. It's bullshit on my end. Some people say it's not guns that kill people, it's people that kill people. But if Robinson was not able to access that gun, Kirk would still be alive. Kids wearing Spider-Man backpacks in schools amongst their peers. Children getting gunned down in a fucking school, all for the sake of the Second Amendment. I have the utmost sympathy for these children.